Hello, my name's Bev and I'm the author of the book Please Eat, A Mother's Struggle to Free Her Teenage Son from Anorexia, which describes our family's battle with the deadly eating disorder, anorexia nervosa, which my teenage son Ben developed back in 2009 when he was just 15 years old. This post is also from the 20th of September 2011, and it's called "Why Didn't I Take Action Sooner?" you might ask. That's what some people may be asking if they've read the post before this one or the video before this one. How come I didn't drag Ben to the GP sooner when his unusual behaviour and weight loss started to manifest itself, and B, why didn't I fight tooth and nail to get him referred to CAMHS for treatment right away? How come if an eating disorder is so serious and potentially deadly, didn't I do either of these? And this is why. Why didn't I drag Ben to the GP sooner than September 2009? After all, he began to behave strangely as early as July. And actually before that. The fact is that as a parent of a boy, the idea that my son might be developing anorexia nervosa never entered my head. It was way, way, way off my radar, about as far as you can get. I had no idea what was wrong with him, but whatever it was, I truly believed it was something that could be fixed fairly easily and quickly with a bit of no-nonsense straight talking. A bit like teenage angst gone too far. Imagine dragging your adolescent son to the GP to complain about teenage angst. You wouldn't, would you? Also, when you're with someone all day, every day, as I was during the school summer holidays of 2009, you don't notice the drop in weight so acutely. After all, we rarely, if ever, weighed Ben. Why should we? Why would we? And here in the UK, it isn't something that's routinely done at school or the GPs unless your child is sick. It took a visit from my in-laws in early September before Ben's shocking weight loss was hammered home. His grandma saw a dramatic difference from the last time she'd seen him. She was worried. Then I got worried. But we had no before weight to compare him with, apart from a general idea that he weighed such and such before the eating disorder kicked off. Well, why didn't I push for an immediate referral to the CAMHS treatment team? Well, for a start, I didn't even know that CAMHS existed. That's Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services, who treat eating disorders in our city. At this stage, I still had no idea that Ben was developing anorexia. Anorexia was something that happened to girls. I'd never heard of it happening to boys before. And our GP certainly didn't give any indication that Ben might be anorexic. Instead, Ben was given a pep talk, warned about the dangers of undereating, told to eat more and come back in a fortnight, time after time. It was only when I started to do some frantic research on the internet that Ben's symptoms seemed to match those of an eating disorder. The thought that Ben could have anorexia knocked me for six. And then I got sick. Throughout the whole of October and some of November, I was struck down with a horrible ear virus, which meant I was virtually horizontal for 6 weeks. I couldn't drive, I couldn't supermarket shop, I couldn't cook, I couldn't even stand up for long periods of time without almost keeling over in nauseating waves of vertigo. So it was Ben that took over some of the cooking while I was unwell, and as a result, we ate his newly concocted so-called healthy meals. Also, I wasn't able to pay as much attention to Ben as I would have liked. It was almost comical the way that one day it would be me taking Ben to see our GP, then the next it would be me seeing the same GP about myself. I think we seriously confused him, but of course it wasn't comical at all. Thankfully, by mid-November, my ear virus had cleared up and I was able to resume my life as normal. Except, of course, it wasn't normal because Ben's eating disorder by that time was going full pelt. But thankfully, by then, I'd insisted that the GP refer Ben to CAMHS. So that's why everything happened in the time frame it did. And that's the end of that post. Thank you for listening. You'll find a link below to my blog, and you'll also find a link to my website where you can download free PDFs of my blog, and also a link to Amazon where you can buy a copy of my book.